Welcome to the Highland League Weekly preview show. Here's Callum to tell you about this weekend's big game.
The main game for us this weekend on Highland League Weekly is Wick Academy versus Deveronvale at Harmsworth Park. Wick started their season with a 4-0 loss against Bankside, but they'll be hoping to pose a few more problems in the final third this weekend. They were without the likes of Mark McGregor, Kyle Henderson, Mark McCaddy and Gordon McNabb. They're set to have some of them available to face the Vale, and they'll be hoping they can do the business up top. Deveronvale started their season with a 1-0 win against Keith. Horace Ormsby got the goal for them on that occasion, and as we touched on in Monday's show, the Bamfors are unfortunately without the prolific Dane Ballard, so the onus will be on the likes of Ormsby, Cameron Angus, Matthew Peterman, Michael Watson to fill the void in terms of goal scoring, and they'll be hoping to do so and help Deveronvale make it 2 wins from 2 to start the season.
Competition time, and you know what that means. A Highland League Weekly mug, or my personal favourite, the Crystal Paul tea towel, is up for grabs. If you can answer this easy question, and we thought we would ease you in gently for the first one of the new season. With Wick Academy playing Deveronvale, that's our main game on Monday, we want from you, what was the last first team trophy won by Deveronvale and when? So the season and the name of the competition, last won by Deveronvale's first team. Pop your answer below, or you can email it to sport@pressandjournal.co.uk. But please remember and tell us whether you want the mug or the tea towel.
Our second game this weekend on Highland League Weekly is Rothes versus Brora Rangers at McKessack Park, and here's 3 things you need to know. Brora Rangers have had the upper hand in this fixture in recent times. They won both meetings of the sides last season, 4-0 at McKessack Park and 3-0 at Dudgeon Park. This fixture has been reversed. When the Highland League fixtures were initially published, Brora were going to be at home, but during the summer they've been relaying the pitch at Dudgeon Park, so to give themselves an extra couple of weeks to allow things to bed in. The game's been switched to McKessack Park, and Rothes will now make the journey north in December. This fixture also sees a few players going up against their old clubs. In the Rothes squad, the likes of Alan Pollock and Greg Morrison both enjoyed fruitful spells at Brora, and in the Cattish ranks, Dale Gillespie, Ali Sutherland and Ross Gunn have all played for Rothes, so those guys I'm sure will be hoping to get one over on their former teams.
Anything I thought would happen immediately. Coaching was all something that was something I'd like to go into, but I didn't think it would happen so quickly. But it really meant a lot from a club I've spent a long time at, and a manager who I really respect the way how he's gone about things since he came in. So yeah, I was really delighted to be offered the chance to come back in and work alongside him and work with the squad we've got, which I think is also very young, but I think it's got massive potential. If we can keep them together, they could be a real force to be reckoned with, hopefully from this season onwards.
Crystal Paul, we're back. The feature everybody
hates.
Yes, so we're decided, since we were so hopeless at this predicting lark last season, we're going to simplify it a little bit.
You say we, I didn't take part, so you and Ryan.
Well,
but
you're here now, so I like the fact you're putting pressure on yourself from day one, Callum. Predict the outcome of the 2 games we're covering at the weekend, and you win yourself a point. Get the actual scoreline correct, and it's 3 points instead of 1. Real easy. We were putting too much pressure on the guys to score goals, so we're going to take that burden off their shoulders this year. They've got enough to worry about trying to win championships and points every weekend.
Don't pay attention to anything we say. That's the
problem. Well, with that in mind, our first game for the new season is the main game, Wick Academy versus Deveronvale. How do you see this one going?
I think both teams will score. I think it'll be a pretty open, entertaining affair, and I think they'll both take a point. Wick Academy 2, Deveronvale 2 for me.
I'm also going for a draw here, but I don't think it's going to be that high scoring. I know Wick might have some strikers coming back this weekend, but I'm thinking 1-1 in this one.
Oh well, and the second game, Rothes against Brora Rangers at McKessack Park.
Well, it's funny, I think if it had been up at Dudgeon Park as originally scheduled, I would be worrying for Rothes, given they've had some guys missing. But the fact they've got home advantage and they'll be wanting to respond to the disappointing defeat to Huntley last week, I think they'll there'll be more in this game, but I still fancy Brora to take it. I'm going to say 2-1 to Brora.
I would be thinking along similar lines, I have to say. I would go with Brora to shade it, but I'll say 3-1 to Brora.
You can find out how badly we got this next week.
The Black and Golds will be buoyed by last weekend's excellent 4-1 win at Rothes, while Breedon, who beat Fermartin, will be hoping to avoid the drama they encountered last season at Christie Park when Anthony McDonald's 90th minute winner earned them all 3 points.
Bankside were the big winners in the opening weekend of the season with a 4-0 victory over Wick Academy. Can they build on it against a Nairn County side who were undone in stoppage time at home to Brora Rangers?
It's a match between two sides who are looking for their first points of the new season after encouraging displays in defeat last weekend.
Something has to give as two teams who won in the opening weekend go head to head at Victoria Park. Buckie left it late to win at Clark, while Turriff had a terrific win against Locos and will be heading up to Buckie in good spirits.
The Maroons will be hoping to sharpen up in attack after drawing a blank against Deveronvale, while the Lily Whites will be keen to tighten up defensively after they were beaten 3-2 by Buckie Thistle on the opening day.
Sean Butcher will be hoping for a start for the Broch after coming off the bench to score a second half hat-trick in their 3-1 win against Lossiemouth, while Inverurie Locos really need to bounce back after a disappointing defeat at Turriff in the opening day of the season.
The two sides were evenly matched when they met last season. In 3 meetings there was a win apiece and a draw. Could we be set for another tight Murray derby this weekend?
That's it for this week's Highland League Weekly preview show. Please like and subscribe the Highland League Weekly YouTube channel and of course the Highland League Weekly Facebook page. Just a reminder, we'll be back on Monday where the big game highlights will be Wick Academy versus Deveronvale, and the second game will be Rothes against Brora Rangers. If you want to watch Monday's show, subscribe to the Press and Journal website and remember to sign up for the Highland League newsletter. In the meantime, all that's left to say is enjoy your game wherever you are this weekend.